Hey guys, Logan here. So, I just heard the breaking news rather, in regards to Stan Lee. Stan Lee has passed away today at the age of 95. Man, Stan Lee, co-creator of Marvel, and comic book writer, a writer extraordinaire. So sad. Died at the age of 95. So sad. Rest in peace to Stan Lee. My heart goes out to his family and anyone else who is the closest to him, who are closest to him. And this is sad news to hear. Stan Lee. You know, he's not just a comic book reader, or writer, I should say. He's not just that. And he's not just a man. He's also a legend. He's an extraordinaire. He's much more than just those things. He's also an icon. He's an icon. He's the icon of Marvel. His co-creation with Jack Kirby. And everything else he does. Now, I will say, before I get into more of Stan Lee, I don't read comic books. I am not a comic book reader. I am a movie a watcher, or viewer, I should say. But Stan Lee got me. When you hear the name Stan Lee, you really couldn't help but think of the Marvel comic books that he and Jack Kirby have created back in their early careers and their early lives. And just hearing this news, Stan Lee passed away at 95. You know, when you hear news like this, when you hear a popular, when you hear a celebrity die at the age of 95 or somewhere around there are many emotions and thoughts that go through you when you hear news like this happen. So many things just go through you emotionally and physically. And you really don't hear news like this more often. Usually, celebrities, when they get very older, they usually die around their 70s or 80s of age. Usually 70s, I would say. Mostly. But when you hear a celebrity die at the age of 95, you just don't hear that nowadays. Considering how much Stan Lee has done throughout his entire career and his entire life. You just don't hear that nowadays. Die at the age of 95. Such a long lifespan. I mean, this man is something special to behold. he's just so much more than you could say he is. He's much more than what he is, you could say. He's the he's the legend. And I think I already said this, but he's the legend of Marvel comic books. And he's the master of Marvel movie cameos, or or movie cameos, depending on how you look at it. But for me, he's the master of movie cameos, based on a boatload of cameos that he had in almost virtually every Marvel film, Marvel superhero movie. Like, and like I said earlier, when you hear the name Stan Lee, you couldn't help but think of the comic books, and you also couldn't help but think of the characters that he and Jack Kirby have created. You really think of Spider-Man, you think of Iron Man, you think of Wolverine, you think of Captain America, Thor, the Hulk. The list goes on and on. And just so many characters that he and Jack Kirby created. So, and before I did this video, I was originally thinking of doing an LBFT episode on the whole, New Orleans Saints and Cincinnati Bengals game that happened last night. Saints dominated the Bengals 51-14. I was really going to do an episode on that, but also start off with some picture of Stan Lee with the words "in memory of Stan Lee, 1922 to 2018." That was my original plan, to start to upload my first video. But I thought long and hard about this, and I then realized that would do Stan Lee's passing a disservice, and that would dishonor his memory. And I realized I didn't want to do that, so I decided to do this video instead. Doing this video first, before doing my LBFT episode, which will be up as soon as I uploaded this one. But I just wanted to make this video in dedication to Stan Lee and the things that he has done throughout his life, throughout his career, and just give my respects and appreciation for the accomplishments that he achieved, and pay my respects and to his family's privacy, and pour out my heart to them in the times that they need privacy, whenever when they lost Stan Lee, is what I'm trying to say. So, this is a sad day for Marvel comic book fans, Marvel comic book readers who have read his source materials, who have read some of the iconic characters that he and Jack Kirby created, like the ones I mentioned before: Daredevil, Wolverine, Spider-Man, the Avengers, Fantastic Four, the X-Men, whichever character they have created in their whole Marvel comic book era. So, this is a very sad day, like I just said, and it's a very rare sad news that you hear, but this is one of those breaking sad news to hear. Especially for someone like especially about someone like Stan Lee. So, overall, this is a breaking news, but breaking sad news. But it's not really surprising, because before he passed away, there were a few times earlier this year and late last year, where some people were wondering. You know what? I'm actually not going to say it because I think that would be insult. That would insult a lot of fans of Stanley. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But anyway, yeah. Rest in peace, Stanley. My thoughts and prayers go out to his family and his friends and anyone else who is close to him, that they really need their privacy, and I will give it to them, and I hope you do too. So that's it. Those are my this is my video in dedication to him and in appreciation to him. So that's it. Bye.